Hello and welcome to Good Morning UK Have Your Say, a Force for Good's mid-morning show coming to you live from our Nerve Centre here in the heart of the great British city of Glasgow with me, your host, Alistair McConnachie. And would you believe this is our 45th show this year. 45th show, what a landmark. And thank you to everybody who has helped take us this far. Now, it's going to be a slightly shorter show this morning for reasons which will become evident as I go on. But I just want to say good morning to Debbie and also to Adam and to Tommy. Nice to see you, Tommy, and to Alan and to Kenny and to Barry. Hope that you're well, Barry. Good to see you, and thanks to folk coming in also on our TikTok platform. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to announce a couple of things that we're doing in the coming month. Okay, hi Tommy, how are you this morning? Hope things are well. Tell us where you're coming from, folks, and Catherine as well. Now, and hi from Archie on TikTok, and from Goldie Hunter says morning. Good to see you, Goldie. Hope you are going to enjoy the show. And Jeff all the way from Cornwall and Robert from Hamilton. And we've got our competition coming up shortly, and we'll also have the winner announced at the end of the programme. Christopher says it's a chilly British morning, but greetings from Falkirk. It absolutely is chilly out there. It's burst pipe weather this morning is what this is. And John from Ayrshire. And Adam says, have we seen the ITV news video which shows Boris Johnson's former spokeswoman joking about a Christmas party while the rest of us were locked up in our homes? Yes, we did see that. We did see that, and it was certainly a strange video, but somebody was saying to me that it was actually a practice video. It wasn't an official video that was being answered in a proper press conference. It was just a kind of practice run or something like that. I don't really understand the full thing of it, but it's certainly not a good look, is it, for the government at the time. Tommy says he's from Glasgow, but he's visiting grandchildren in Campbelltown. Keep up the sterling work. Well, we were in Campbelltown, Tommy, weren't we? A couple of years ago now, when we counted the Scottish Nationalist march that was there, which came in at 974 and not the 2,000 that they lied about. That was a good day in Campbelltown when we had the whole gang went all the way down there. The thin red line went all the way to Campbelltown to count the Scottish Nationalist marchers. And, you know, we've counted 9 Scottish Nationalist marches this year. They've all been very small marches, and so we have not bothered to bring out the thin red line to them because, I mean, they were very small. You know, one of the marches was 30, another was 73, the most recent one was 88. So these are very small numbers, and it's not worth getting out of bed for, really, at the end of the day, as far as we're concerned. But we count them anyway. We always have somebody on the ground to count them so they can't get away with their lies. And they were lying when an organisation called Yes 2 had a march through Glasgow recently, and they lied, and the media lied that there was 2,000 of them, but there was just about 374 is what we counted. So it's always important that we are at these marches. And of course we were at the COP26 march, simply just not to counter it as such, but simply to count it, to just see the extent to which the media was lying about that. And of course we counted them in at 13,000, precisely as it happens, 13,000 precisely, and not the 100,000 that the media, many parts of the media, were lying about. So we've got an important job to do there, a very important job to do as far as those sorts of things are concerned. Now, Peter says, keep up the good work all the way from Brisbane, Australia. I hope that things are good for you there in Brisbane, Australia. I was watching an Australian rock band last night, and called Rose Tattoo, and they've got this amazing song, We Can't Be Beaten. And I thought to myself, that's really what the Australians, that's the attitude that the Australians need to get back again. We can't be beaten needs to be their carrion call, as it were. Is that the word? Carrion call. There comes a time when every man must fight, when he believes in justice and right. He'll take so much till he'll take no more. They'll hear us coming when they hear our mighty roar. Shoulder to shoulder, we're gonna stand. We're gonna fight to the very last man. We Can't Be Beaten by Rose Tattoo. And I would love to actually play that just now, but I'm worried that what will happen is that Facebook and YouTube will actually stop the stream if I play music. Which doesn't make any sense, does it? You can't. I can, if I want, bring in YouTube videos to our stream, but very often the Facebook, the YouTube algorithms will actually stop the music and will stop your stream because they think it's copyrighted music that you're playing. Anyway, check it out, Rose Tattoo, We Can't Be Beaten. A great song for the Australians to get them to stand up to the state which is presently misgoverning them, if you don't mind me saying. Now, good morning to Richard. Clarion Call, that's the one. Bill says, a great British morning to us all. Great British morning to you too, Bill. Now, what do I want to talk about this morning? It's come to that time of year when A Force for Good has to be honest with its supporters, and we have to just lay our cards on the table and say, if we're going to get through another year, we need your help. So December is the month when we have what we call our 28-day Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder. And our Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder is going to be running from tomorrow, Thursday, at 8 p.m. on crowdfunder.co.uk. And it's going to last right through until Thursday, the 6th of January. And that's a 28-day period. And that's our Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder. And it's one of the 4 main ways in which we raise money to keep our show on the road. And the 4 ways that we raise money are through our crowdfunder, through our union supporters program, through one-off donations, and through our amazing merchandise. And the Yule Britannia one is critical, so that's starting tomorrow, and it's not live yet, but I'll just give you a wee, if I can just bring it up here, I'll just give you a wee share of what it looks like when you go to the screen. This is the page here. This is the page here, and effectively, we're calling it Stand Up for the UK in 2022. I might think of a snappier title before tomorrow night. And essentially, we just talk about what we've done here, and we've done some amazing stuff this year. We really have, especially starting on TikTok. We've got almost 1 million views on TikTok. I just want to give a big shout out to our TikTok administrator for the videos that our administrator puts up there, because they really are good and they get thousands of views. So that's absolutely fantastic. We've also published this year something that we're extremely proud of, which is our 40-page magazine, Do More Together, which is a really good piece of work, a piece of unionist work that you won't find anywhere else. And that took us several months of toil to produce. And we've had a street stall, we've had a rally in George Square, We've counted 9 Scottish Nationalist marches, and we've published lots of new articles as well on our website. We've created new merchandise. We've really been busy this year. Within the limitations that we've got, and we intend to be even busier next year, because one of the things, that's our rally there. That's our rally in George Square when we had about at least 50 of us there on a really nice day as well. Got some cracking photographs from that day. Cracking photographs. You can't see it on TikTok. If you want to see these pictures on TikTok, I suggest you go to youtube.com/UK A Force for Good. And so we're going to be raising 15,000, at least that's what we're going to be trying to aim for in our Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder, which runs from tomorrow night. It will go live across all our platforms. And we've also got rewards for people who donate certain amounts of money. So if you donate like a big whack of, money, you can get these wooden flags. You can choose these wooden flags if you want. I mean, look at that. That's a Royal Standard Saltire shield. Crying out loud. I mean, that's fantastic. Okay, fantastic piece of work there. There's a hurricane flag. Classic Union Jack. These are all wooden, artisan produced flags. A Union Jack shield, which really knocks it out the park. That's a Kanzuk flag, which is a combination of the Union Jack, the Canadian flag, the Australian flag, and the New Zealand flag. I mean, what a clever piece of work that is. Absolutely. A Canadian Union Jack combo. A Union Jack Saltire combo. Lion Rampant Union Jack combo. An Australia-Scotland combo. RAF flags, 3 of them on offer, which are really something. A USA Eagle flag combo. And a Wales Union Jack combo. And a British Independence Day flag, which has a little plaque at the bottom that says British Independence Day, 30th of January 2020. 31st of January 2020. And this one is amazing, isn't it? That's what's called a Grand Union flag, which is the Union flag of the 13 colonies before it became the United States of America, joined with Union Jack. So these are on offer for people who donate large sums of money, and you get that just as part of your donation. So thank you to everybody for doing that now and for coming in on those things. And this leads me to my next point, okay? Just before I do that, Sean on TikTok says, I totally stand with you. I'm an ex-serviceman. Thank you, Sean. Hopefully we can meet up someday. Thank you for following us, Travels. Danny Smith says, why do you want Scotland to stay in the UK? That's a long and complex question, but basically we don't want our country to be broken up, because our country is not just Scotland or England or Northern Ireland or Wales, it is the United Kingdom. And so we don't want our country to be broken up. We don't want our home to be destroyed. That's a very simple way of putting the core of our belief in one sentence. We don't want our home to be destroyed. The Burton Brigade says, can I donate in euros? I think you will be able to when it goes live. And user 327 says, the best advert for the union is Sturgeon and her awful government. That's so, isn't it? John Klebit says, we're all for the union, but what's your thoughts on the current Tory government? That's a very good point. And something that I want to emphasise here is that because one is for the union, it does not mean that you're for a particular party or a particular government at the time. And so we as pro-UK people, we as Unionists can stand back and look at it objectively and say, well, there's problems with the current government. There's always going to be problems with whatever government is running whatever country. We don't give our full-hearted support to somebody just because of who they are. We are always trying to hold them to a higher standard. We're always trying to guide them along the path that we would like them to go. So just because we're Unionists does not mean that we, for example, might support the present government. And we have been highly critical in the past of, for example, its lockdown policies, which we totally oppose. It's COVID hysteria, which we totally oppose. It's its inability to control our borders, which is a disgrace. So there's a lot of things that the present government is not getting right, and we're going to try to hold them to a higher standard. At the end of the day, this isn't about getting wrapped up too much in the politics of the Constitution. It's about making sure we don't break up the country as a people. Okay, it's about holding the people together. So hopefully, Danny, that's been a few minutes chatting with you to help you to understand that point. Yes, we're broadcasting across TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And so if you want to see interviews and so on, or pictures on the screen, it's best to go to our youtube.com/UK A Force for Good channel to see that. Good morning to Frankie. Adam says, Scotland is our home, but most importantly, the UK is our home because Scotland is a part of it. Bill says, we're stronger in the Union economically, security, trade, and diplomatically. Good morning to you, Sandra. Thanks. Alan says he'll drop in a donation when he can. Well, thank you, Alan. We go live tomorrow at 8 o'clock across all our platforms. We'll also put out an email update to that effect. And a lot of people find that's the time, Christmas is the time, when they're feeling in a good mood because it's Christmas time, that they donate to worthy causes. And certainly holding the country together is a very worthy cause, as we know. And Richard makes a point referring back to what the question was there about why we don't want the country broken up. No one would want Scotland to lose Aberdeenshire or the Highlands. It wouldn't really be Scotland anymore. We don't want the United Kingdom to lose Scotland. It wouldn't really be our nation and kingdom of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's correct. If Scotland left, what would be left? What would be left? Everything would fall to pieces in short order. Ian makes a constitutional point here that an ongoing union implies federation, that we're for the kingdom created by an event that in modern English would be called an act of unification. Okay, something to think about. Thanks for that, Ian. So if you're on TikTok, please give us a follow, by the way. Please give us a follow if you're on TikTok. And if you're watching on YouTube, please ensure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Adam points out that Shetland has the idea of becoming a crown dependency. Sturgeon wouldn't like that, but at the same time she wants to rip Scotland out of the United Kingdom against our will. Imagine if Shetland became a crown dependency. The other crown dependencies are the Isle of Man, Guernsey and Jersey. And they're not strictly part of the... they're not strictly part of the United Kingdom. But they really are to all intents and purposes. But they're... because they get the protection of the United Kingdom and they use United Kingdom sterling. They use British sterling, even though they've got their own banknotes. It's all backed by the British Central Bank. and they're protected, of course, by the British Armed Forces, and the head of state is the Queen and so on. So they're essentially part of the United Kingdom, but they're not part of the United Kingdom. They're called Crown dependencies, a very interesting historical relationship in the British Isles, and there's 3 Crown dependencies, and Shetland could theoretically become a Crown dependency, but goodness me, there would be some people who would be against that, because Shetland would then would say that it's going to take all the oil, and they're very small, of course, and that's another thing that characterises the Crown dependencies. They're very small, as Richard points out. So just looking at some of the stuff there on TikTok, you can, yes, as British Megan says, you can want the United Kingdom to stay together without liking any political party. That's of course absolutely correct, and I think that's what the Scottish Nationalists often avoid. They want to break up a country because they don't like a political party. Well, that political party can change. You can vote it out, you know. And who's to say that if you got your independence that you would have some wonderful political party in power in Scotland? I mean, you know, political parties are just simply run by people, and as such, they're fallible. They're fallible. You know, everybody's fallible. You're not going to have the perfect political party. You're never going to have the perfect government, regardless of what kind of constitutional relationship you have. Okay, you just... This search for perfection, I've noticed, is something that many of the Scottish Nationalists want to do. They think that if they have their independence, then essentially it's like everybody will be happy ever after. But they don't understand that it will just bring a whole new set of political issues, some of which may be good, many of which will be bad. It's not like there's going to be perfection in the world. It's almost like a search for, you know, nirvana, a search for heaven on earth, and I've noticed that it's pursued quite rigorously by people who are seeking some sort of perfection that's not possible in the human realm. So yes, I see that somebody's just pointed out there about our Christmas cards. I keep meaning to say that. Our British Christmas cards, wishing you a glorious British Christmas. These are available at our shop. We've put the link up there on our sites. They're at our website shop. On TikTok, go to Linktree in our bio and click on shop. And if you're a Union supporter, you get this. You'll get a pack of 5 free of charge. Okay, these are all the monarchs since the glorious revolution, hence the glorious British Christmas angle. Good. I'm going just now to tell you about this day in British history, because after I've told you that, we're going to ask a question on it. And the prize today are these luxury mints, luxury British mints with a London bus and a Union Jack embossed on the tin. And so they're coming to the winner of the On This Day in British History quiz today, which I'll ask you after I've spoken about this day in British history. Now, we always like our history because it's important to remember the past so that we can understand who we are and where we get to in the future. And it was on this day that the poem was first published that inspired the poppy as a symbol of remembrance. Okay, because some people think, well, why do we have poppies as a symbol of remembrance? Well, of course it was because that's where they grew, in Flanders Field. And it was the poem called In Flanders Fields was first published today on the 8th of December 1915, and it was written by John McCrae. And John McCrae was a Canadian Brit, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, who was a physician and a soldier and a surgeon during World War One, and he was from a British descended family, and he wanted to join the British Army, but he was too old to join the British Army at age 41 when World War One broke out. So he joined the Canadian Army, the Canadian Expeditionary Force. And he always considered himself a soldier first and foremost, and his father had been a soldier before him, and he grew up believing in the idea of duty, the idea of fighting for king and country, and especially in those days fighting for the British Empire, which included Canada as well. And so he was inspired to write in Flanders Fields when he presided over the funeral of a friend and fellow soldier who died in the Battle of Ypres. And he was to die during World War One as a consequence of pneumonia, and people say the reason for that was he had actually been sent back from the front line to behind the lines, and he was angry about that, and he insisted on continuing to live in his tent rather than in the officers' quarters, just like the men at the front. And unfortunately, in his tent, he contracted pneumonia and he died as a consequence. And in Flanders Field, let me see, do I have a picture of that lined up? I'll just bring it up here, bring up a picture of it if I can. No, I don't have it lined up. I thought I did. Okay, well, it's a fantastic poem in Flanders Fields, and in Flanders Fields the poppies grew. In Flanders Fields the poppies blow between the crosses row on row that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders Fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders Fields. And that song it's been noted, it's not part of the pity of war type of poem that came out of World War One. It's very much about doing your duty, as it were, keeping the torch high. And so in that sense, it's a slightly different genre of World War One poetry, and it certainly hit home when it was first published on this day, on the 8th of December. On the 8th of December in 1915, in Punch magazine, John McCrae in Flanders Fields. That's part of our national and indeed Western tradition to remember the poppy as a consequence of that poem in Flanders Fields. So I'll ask a wee question about that in a couple of minutes. Let me just have a look at the comments here. Sean Kemp says, if any of you have been to the Menin Gate, I would say definitely go, as it's amazing. I've heard about it. I've never been there, but they have a bugler who plays every night and who has played every night for decades to remember all the dead who are listed inside the Menin Gate. British Megan says she went there on a school trip. Fantastic. That's definitely worth seeing. Simply Neil says, didn't the poem appear anonymously? I think that it did initially, yes. Yeah. So, Ross says, good morning. Just harking back there, Kenny says the SNP promote utopia, but where is their reality? That's the thing. They're not even good at promoting utopia, are they? And they encourage bad behaviour as well. I mean, did you see that person, the Scottish businesswoman who gave Boris Johnson a clooty dumpling at a Scottish business fair, which was held in Downing Street, and before she knew it, all the Scottish Nationalists were threatening her with sometimes actually with kind of physical violence actually. Here's the thing here. Clooty McToot owner Michelle Maddox, who has also been hit with order cancellations, says, I was told I was a traitor, that I could get a brick through my van. Another warned me to not walk down a dark alleyway. Aren't these Scottish nationalists such lovely people? They really are. Crikey. Anyway, she's standing up quite strongly for herself on Twitter, and it doesn't seem to have done her business any harm, I'm glad to say. Ibrox Park says he's been to the Meningate 3 times, and he was meant to be over at the Somme in November but could not go because of the no jabs, no fly policy. Well, goodness me, absolutely. Well, let me just ask the question that is for this prize. And the question, and we'll see if we can write that into the comment at the bottom of the thing there, just a wee word there to the admin. The question is, what was the name of the poem that has inspired the idea of the poppy? Now, please send it to contact@aforceforgood.uk. Please send it to that address, contact@aforceforgood.uk. The first person to answer the question correctly, what was the name of the poem that has inspired wearing the poppy in November? That poem was published today, back in 1915 in Punch magazine. Straightforward question, and the first person on the buzzer will get this tin of luxury mints winging their way to them very shortly. Good. That brings me on to the second thing that I wanted to talk about. In addition to our Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder, we have what we call our Union Telethon. Now, our Union Telethon is a 10-hour tour de force where we'll be here in the studio in the great British city of Glasgow, and we'll be talking to guests via our StreamYard, and we'll also have a guest actually in the studio. And that Union Telethon is this Saturday the 11th of December, and it will last from 12:30, that's to say just after noon, and it will last right through until 10:30 at night. So all you folk on TikTok, if you want 10 hours of Alistair McConnachie, 10 hours of A Force for Good, this is where to come to get it. And we'll be broadcasting live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and TikTok for 10 hours. The best place to watch it though is on youtube.com/UK A Force for Good, because if you're on TikTok you won't see the guests that we'll be talking about here, but will be talking anyway for 10 hours on TikTok. But if you want to see the guests and so on, please move over to YouTube. So that's this Saturday. Now, who are the guests? Well, the first guest is going to be that tremendous artist who produced these wooden flags that I showed you earlier. He's going to be on. But we're then following with a chap called Ben Irvin, who is a philosopher and writer and delivery driver who's writing a book at the moment called My Road to Freedom, Memories of a Lockdown Delivery Driver. And he has got some amazing insights about the nature of the COVID panic and how it is being maintained. Then we'll be following with a chap called Will Podmore, who has written this fantastic book, which I do recommend, Capability Britain, for a country that works. And he is he's a Brexiteer, a very prominent Brexiteer, and he's also written a book called Brexit, The Road to Freedom. But this is his most recent book, Capability Britain, which looks ahead to what we can achieve now that we have left the EU. We can make our own decisions and plan for an independent British future. We, the people, have to rebuild Britain. We, the people, have to assert control. So we'll be talking to Will as well. And then after that, we'll be speaking to a fellow called Chris Brett, who is the vice chairman of the Nelson Society. And we're going to be talking to him about the whole controversy around British history and statues and things like that. And he's got a unique point of view on that because he is, of course, the chairman of a society that commemorates one of Britain's greatest sons. And after that, we'll be speaking to one of our supporters here at Force for Good called Pauline Egremont, who has a lot to say about the nature of the Scottish Nationalists. And we've got 2 or 3 other guests as well. And then Caelan Wynne, the chap who does the flags and who has done this amazing flag behind me, I should add, he'll be back on again. And then we'll be having a session with the legend who is Max Dunbar, and he'll be in the studio with us, and we'll be shooting the breeze for that. And we'll be encouraging people to donate to our Union Telethon, our 10-hour event, and that's this Saturday. So that's going to be a great day. Looking forward to that. Is that Preston journalist one of the guests? He's unable to for reasons which no doubt he will explain to you on his channel himself, but all good news for the Preston journalist on Saturday. But he's not going to be able to be with us on Saturday for very happy reasons, I might add. Yeah, Kenny points out there that Barhead travel was boycotted by the SNP after the referendum in 2014 for backing. No, that's true. There's several of those that they've banned. Yeah. There's the Preston journalist there. Hi, Alistair. Have a great show Saturday. You will smash it. Long live the UK. Thank you very much to you, and have a lovely day on Saturday. Mark says, the United Kingdom is our home, our nation. We are united as one. Good. I'm just going to have just going to do something here, because we're testing out something. Good. Yeah, so that's where we are at the moment, folks. Now, please, Christmas is coming up, And we've got a great wee stocking filler here. It's called a wee book for the Union. You could literally get that into an old-fashioned stocking, actually, and it's only a £5. It's only a £5, so we'll put up the link to that. It's a great wee book. You can get it in our website shop, which is on TikTok. Click in our bio, click the link tree, and it's the top link, website shop. A great wee piece of work there. A great wee piece of work. Together united, we'll never be defeated. That's the attitude. Philip on TikTok, good morning from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Hope things are well with you, Philip. We spoke about Northern Ireland and making better connections with Northern Ireland in our recently published magazine, Do More Together. And we spoke about how we don't believe in the whole idea of a bridge or a tunnel to Northern Ireland. I think that's an extravagance, probably not workable. And if you've got that kind of money to spend, it would be much better upgrading, for example, links around Belfast ferry terminals and Belfast airports. It would be a lot better upgrading the motorways or the roads which run from Stranraer to Ayr and across to Dumfries. Far better to upgrade them. Far better to reinstate the railway line, in fact, from Stranraer or Cairnryan through to Carlisle. Reinstate the Troon to Belfast ferry. Abolish air passenger duty for Northern Ireland airports, because Northern Ireland airports are losing business to the Republic because the Republic doesn't charge air passenger duty. So there's lots of ways that we can bring Northern Ireland closer as far as transport is concerned to the mainland, and we've listed them here in this article, Transport, a Means to Unity. It's one of the pages in our Do More Together magazine, which is free for Union supporters who request it, but is £5 from the shop if you would like to buy it. It's 40 pages, full colour. Good stuff. And Adam says road vehicles and trains are faster than boats. Yeah. There we go. Do More Together. That's our wee book Union combo. You can get the two of them together for a discount. So you can get Do More Together and the wee book together for a discount. Do More Together. Getting a good shot here for the camera. Brilliant stuff. Got to be a salesman in this job because we've got to keep things moving. That's the only way. We've got so many people who rely upon us, and we've got part-time people who work for us as well. Everybody is really pushing their shoulder to the wheel here, and so we rely upon you guys out there to help us. Thanks very much. And so tomorrow we start with our Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder. Get ready for that. Isn't that a great wee graphic that was designed by one of our graphic designers for us, and that was just sent through this morning. Thank you to that person. And also get ready for the Union Telethon. That is coming up on Saturday, this Saturday at 11 o'clock. At 12:30 until 10:30 at night. 10 hours. 10 hours of dropping wisdom. 10 hours of dropping wisdom. Isn't that going to be absolutely incredible? Oh, goodness me. 10 hours of wisdom. Unionist wisdom. Brilliant stuff. Hello to Dave. Thanks for sending a wee flag there. Druth says they're back again. Yep, we are back again. Sean Kemp says trying to become a supporter. Okay, where are you trying to click on that, Sean? Truth is a fan. He absolutely is. And so yeah. Interesting comments on TikTok. We love everybody on TikTok. Always good to see the Scottish Nationalists coming in with their questions. Adam says, have you ever been on TV and or radio in Scotland during elections or the 2014 once in a generation referendum? That's an interesting question, Adam. For some reason the Scottish media just totally blank us. I wonder why that would be. I wonder why that should be. Scotland's premier pro-UK campaigning organisation. We've never in 10 years had an invite onto the BBC or to STV, nor have they ever contacted us regarding our opinion on anything. So, bit strange, but we know that they've got their agenda. They're not unionists as such, and we're a certain kind of unionist, you know. We're a carnivore unionist, we're not a herbivore unionist, so they may be afraid of what we might end up saying on live on telly or something. Who knows why? Anyway, next year is going to be our 10th birthday, and what we're looking for, by the way, because who knows if hospitality in Scotland is even going to exist next year. So we do want to have a party for our 10th anniversary, and what we're thinking about now is, you know, a lot of our people are not going to be vaxxed or anything like that, so we're not playing along with that whole passport scenario thing. So what we're going to need is like somebody that's got a big house or a big garden or a big room or something like that that can host AFFG's 10th anniversary party. Okay, so if you're somebody out there, you've got a big house in the somewhere that people can get to easily enough, ideally in the central belt, then you might want to consider hosting AFFG's 10th anniversary party next year. Okay, and of course you have to be totally cool about the fact that half of us are not going to be vaccinated and don't go along with the biosecurity state agenda. So if that's you, then please do contact us and we can talk, because it doesn't look like anywhere in the centre of town is really going to be suitable next year for our people. You know what I mean? So that's just a thought. I'm just putting that out there. We're going to be pushing that in the next 2 or 3 months, trying to find somebody that can host a big party for AFFG, which will be great fun, by the way. But we do need to celebrate 10 years of this organisation's regular campaigning, and we do need to say thank you to everybody as well. PBC says Sturgeon owns the media. Just about. Joe O'Reilly says Scottish media are so poor. Absolutely. Adam says go to George Square for a 10-year birthday celebration. Well, there's a thought. We do intend to be in George Square next year. We had a rally in George Square this year, which was extremely good, went extremely well. That was to celebrate the 1st of May. We called it our 1st of May Great British Union Day rally. And that was to celebrate the 314th anniversary of the Parliamentary Union. Talking of which, next year will be the 315th anniversary of 1707, the 1st of May 1707. And so we definitely have to do something for that, don't we? The 315th anniversary. So it might well be in George Square or something similar. So we need you to help us defend the Union. Okay, now we had a competition. Let me just find out who won the competition. I asked on this day, 8th of December 1915, John McCrae got his poem published in Punch magazine, which since then has inspired the concept of wearing a poppy to remember the dead of wars, not just in Britain but largely worldwide. It's become a thing. And the question was, what was the name of that poem? And it was In Flanders Fields was the name of the poem, and several people got it right, but we do have a winner. And let me just bring up the name of the winner here. The winner who got In Flanders Fields is Ian Barton. So congratulations to you, Ian. Please could you use that same email and send us your address, please, and we'll get this little tin on its way to you. Now, on Saturday, during our 10-hour Union Telethon, we're going to have a question at the top of every hour. And so we're going to have 10 questions during the course of the event, and we've got some great prizes, and like expensive prizes as well. The main prize is a £30 bottle of Union Jack gin. It's over there, but I can't really reach it without going out of frame. Can I reach it? Can I reach it and still stay in frame? That is the top prize. That'll be for the prize at like 9 o'clock or whatever. We've got Union Jack mugs. We've got Union Jack pint glasses. We've got little Lego toys of guardsmen. We've got tins of British tea, which are embossed with British designs. We've got wee books by the dozen that will go to everybody who wins a prize. We've got badges and pens that will go to everybody who wins a prize. We've even got mats. What do you call these things? We've got these sort of things, okay? I guess you call them beer mats or cup mats or whatever. No doubt somebody will tell me. I think that somebody's telling me there. So coasters. That's what they're called. Coasters, of course. I just had a mental blank there. Coasters. So we've got coasters. It says what we've got we'll hold, which is a strange way of putting it. Why don't they say what we have we'll hold, what we have, or just what we have we hold? But instead they've got what we've got we'll hold, which is a bit of a clunky way of putting it. This is an old-fashioned design. Anyway, a couple of those. Lots of other stuff. So these prizes will be for people to win on our Union Telethon, which I can't wait for. PBC got it. Thanks, Richard. Also, what time will it kick off on Saturday? 12:30, Alan, and it will run through until 10:30 at night. Ian got it on his 52nd birthday as well. Congratulations. Well done. Tommy says congratulations, Ian. And Debbie says congratulations, Ian. And Alan says congratulations. Good stuff, Ian. I think you're a first-time winner as well, if my memory serves me correctly. And hello to Moshi from Argentina. Great to see you. Thanks for checking in. Good. Well, folks, it just remains for me to say our Yule Britannia Christmas crowdfunder begins tomorrow at 8 p.m, runs for 28 days. We're aiming to raise 15 grand. We'll be talking about that across all our social media platforms for the next 28 days. I have to tell you, I'm sorry about that, but we do need to raise what we can in order to get through 2022. We have a lot of plans for that, which you can read about in our crowdfunder when it is published tomorrow at 8 p.m. And then on Saturday we go straight through to the Union Telethon, the 10-hour event, which is going to be absolutely mega. And so thank for that. I've got an admin here, hopefully. I'm going to ask that person to stay on as we close the event today. So we'll be back on Saturday. It just remains for me to say, folks, thank you very much for coming in. Thank you to everybody on TikTok, and thank you to all the people who came in, and congratulations to Ian for today. Folks, we'll see many of you on Saturday. So it just remains for me to say, God bless the United Kingdom and God save the Queen. See you on Saturday.